Hi, last Tuesday, August 9th, I spoke with Nashville General Hospital leadership team about not managing stress but getting rid of it. My name is Lili Hudson. I'm in Nashville. I am a brain change expert and personal cheerleader. Your team was excited about what we did in a little bitty short time and asked me to come and be at the health fair on August 15th. I can't be there, but I've decided to shoot this little video to hopefully bring you up to speed and teach you what I taught them. The first thing we did was to play with this little energy ball. It's a little science toy, but what it is a ping pong ball with two leads on it, and when I connect my fingers to the leads, what we're doing is demonstrating the flow of electricity. And the problem is when electricity doesn't flow, well, the room lights don't light. When the blood in your veins don't flow, you get a heart attack or a stroke. That's a problem. So when we are stressed, that clamps down on the muscles and it creates a lack of flow in your body. So what I taught your team was a funny little technique for creating better flow, not just managing stress, but releasing it completely. And they want me to share that with you. Now this is a really quick video, so don't expect perfection. Maybe one day I'll do that, but for right now I just need to get this done for you for Tuesday. On the sheet that you picked up at the health fair, there is a link to download this sheet. And if you haven't already done that, please go ahead and do so. But as I talked to your team, I taught them some things. And one of the ideas that I want to emphasize is if it sticks in the brain, it sticks in the body. Those are the first two blanks on your sheet. That means that if we're hanging on to something, an old hurt or heartache or fear or guilt or regret, that it's creating a physical reaction in your body. Now what stress causes is production of the hormone cortisol. In popular press, they're calling cortisol the belly fat hormone. Any wonder that we seem to be getting larger? We're walking around in 24/7 stress, aren't we? When we're doing this technique I'm about to teach you, we're creating a different hormone, serotonin. Serotonin is the hormone that is responsible for relaxation, for feeling more at ease. Cortisol and serotonin are inversely proportional. So if you're doing the tapping, you cannot be creating cortisol because you are creating serotonin. All right, I'm a chemistry major, and so I'm a nerd about that. I really like understanding what is going on when this happens because it sort of appears to be magic. It's not magic. It's just utilizing the acupuncture, the acupressure system of the body from the 5,000-year-old tradition of acupuncture in Oriental medicine. This is a healing tradition, and we're bringing it into our Western world, and it's having phenomenal effects. I have taught this to a range of people, to little children, to doctors, to business people, to moms. I've taught this to perfect strangers. Once I was on the carrier Midway in San Diego Harbor, and we're on the conning tower taking a tour way up high. The water is really way down low. I don't even know how far away it was. But a woman was standing next to me, and she just didn't look right. So I asked her, "Are you okay?" And she said, I'm just afraid of heights. And so I offered this. I said, if you want to catch up with me after the tour, I have something I can teach you that I know will help. So after the tour, I let her approach me, and she did. And I taught her we spent about 4 or 5 minutes together. And then she went over to the edge of the ship, looked, I don't know, 4 stories down to the water, turned around and smiled because she felt peaceful, at ease. And I like telling that story. That's how simple it can be. Now, you're going to get a little bit more than 4 minutes of that because I've got time. I'm going to also include another video in your links about how to tap. So if you have any questions, if you need to get a hold of me for any reason, you can reach me at Lili, L-I-L-I, at LiliHudson.com. That's L-I-L-I at LiliHudson.com. Now I work with all kinds of people. A lot of what I do is behavior management, eating, smoking, nail biting. We work on stress and griefs. Anger was my personal story. When I was introduced to this, it was after all my hair had fallen out. My eyes were bugging out. I had a scary autoimmune issue going on. And my sister called me up and she said, "I'm concerned about your anger. I want you to come to this workshop." Well, I was pretty concerned about my anger too, because my body was falling apart. My husband was keeping his distance. There was this scary kind of silence creeping into our marriage. And my little girl said, "Mama, please don't grit your teeth at us." Well, every time I say that, it still hurts, because it was a pretty awful time. And I went to doctors about what was going on, and while allopathic medicine is terrific in some fields, they really didn't know what to say to me, except reduce your stress. Thanks. How do you do that? So I know that you've got a lot to do today. In the position of responsibility that you have, you've got a lot of needs to answer to, a lot of people to answer to. And after all, that's what you're here to do, is to meet their needs. But after you give your 140% that you give every day, by the time you get home, maybe it's 2 miles, maybe it's 35 miles, and put your key in the lock, there better be something left for you and your family, or I guarantee you that life is going to come up short for you. Now, I was working with a businesswoman, a mentor, and now a friend, and she told me about her father, who was one of the best, the most renowned dermatological surgeons in the nation in his time. He had a scholarship at Yale, position in the professional board, and on his deathbed, what he said was that he regretted his life because he gave to everybody else, but he didn't have anything left for his family. And that's a common situation with people in our world. We have to give a lot. We want to keep our jobs. Our jobs require a lot of us. And we sort of think that maybe family is something we'll do later, or they understand. After all, we're doing it for them. Even worse, we put ourselves last. We think, I'll get in shape later, I'll deal with my stress later, I'll hang out with my friends later. But like I said, if you don't take care of yourself, life is going to come up short. Now, the doctors told me to reduce my stress. Good. Like, I have time for an hour of yoga, or to take a run, or I'm going to go do a 6-pack at night, or drink a bottle of wine. What I needed then and what I use now, what I'm going to teach you, happens fast. It's quick, it's available, you can do it anytime, anywhere. And I'm going to teach you how to do it, and then I'm going to teach you how to do it kind of on the sly. So if you're in public, you can still take care of yourself. Do you ever feel like this? Do you ever feel like you are juggling so many balls in the air that you forget which ones are rubber and they're going to bounce when you drop them, and which balls are crystal and they're going to shatter? If you've ever felt like that, if you've ever been in the realm of overwhelm with way too much to do and not enough time to do it, then you want to listen to this next segment. And I'd like for you to practice this and learn it and get really good at it, because your leadership team has learned it and they're going to get really good at it too. So managing stress. Why is managing stress almost guaranteed to fail? I spoke about that a minute earlier with the balls in the air. But really, it's like trying to hold beach balls underwater. You can hold 1 ball, you can hold 2 balls underwater, but 3, 4, it's not very likely. Something is going to fall apart, something is going to get loose from you. So wouldn't it be better to find a way not to manage stress, because stress isn't going away, but to release stress quickly, effectively, and on your own? And that's what I'm going to teach you. Now, in the workshop on Tuesday, I called for a volunteer, and a nurse came up. She talked about shoulder pain, and I asked her on a 0 to 10 scale how much it hurt her. She said it was about a 7. Later on, I found out that she really wasn't able to raise her arm much above shoulder level. So we did this technique. We did it one round. Her pain reduced from a 7 to about a 5 or a 4. We did it again, and we may have done it a third round. But when she got back to her chair, she could move her arm all the way over her head. I found out later that someone in the group that I wasn't even working with, because I had everybody doing this technique, he also had shoulder pain, and he had the same result. Before, a lot of pain, he was stuck here. Afterwards, he had free movement. So how would that be? Now I want to tell you about an anesthesiologist that I worked with, and she was going through a messy divorce and all that goes along with that. What was really getting her was her anger, and it was keeping her from working very effectively. It was just tying her in a knot all day, every day. We worked for a couple of hours actually because there were a lot of issues attendant to her situation. And she let me know the next day that she had had her best night of sleep in months. What would that feel like? What would that feel like to wake up refreshed and to have a really good night of sleep? Now I'm giving you these examples because I want to give you some ideas of how this can be used. But it can also be used for simple overwhelm. And on my website, lilihudson.com, you can request a download of a guide. It's called Beginner's Guide to EFT and Tapping for Fast Results. I kind of forgot what it's called. But it's going to give you more explanation, and you'll have a handout of how to do it step by step, a little more background, and I encourage you to sign up for that. When you do, as a bonus, you're going to get some emails from me, some reminders with some other tapping scripts. There's a hypnosis CD or recording in there that you can use to relax in the afternoon. Maybe you need to relax and then get your energy up for the next part of the day. You'll be able to get that also. So be sure to go to my website and request that guide, the Beginner's Guide to Tapping, EFT and Tapping for Fast Results. So on your handout, there is a number line, 0 to 10, and that's a great way for us to judge what's going on in your body, either pain or a level of distress. Now 0, obviously, there's no problem, I'm perfectly calm, my body feels great. 10, I'm about to jump out of my skin, or I'm in so much pain I can't see straight. Now some people will say, when I ask them 0 to 10, they'll say 25 or 50. The thing is, a lot of us are walking around feeling upset, stressed at a level way above 10, and that's not doing your body any good. So I hope you're interested enough. Let's dive in a little bit more. I'm going to teach you the tapping points and how to use this 0 to 10 scale. So the first point is at the beginning of the eyebrow. You also have a handout on this. At the outer eye, under the eye, just on the bone, this is all on the edge of the orbital socket, between the nose and the lip, between the lip and the chin, the collarbone. Now you may not be able to see this on the camera, but if you raise your arm up a little bit and pat on the side of your body, that's under the arm. And then on the hand, we're talking about the edge of the thumbnail, the edge of the ring finger, the edge of the first finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and the little finger, and then the karate chop, which is pretty obvious why we call it the karate chop. What we're going to do is create a statement that is true, an acknowledgement of what is going on. And then the second part is a statement of where we want to be. Now the classic phrase is, even though I have this problem, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And that's a great place to be, but I have yet to find anyone that can say that on that 0 to 10 scale with absolute honesty. Because the thing is, we all hold a lot of judgment. Even if you know that you are a beloved child of the divine creator, you might be talking to yourself about what you're doing wrong or about where you're falling short. So, to avoid having a problem with that, what I like to say is, even though I have this problem, I want to feel better. Because that's 100% true, isn't it? Everybody, most everybody, wants to feel better. So a side note on that, sometimes people don't want to get rid of all their pain or don't want to feel better because there's something they're getting from it. For instance, the mail carrier who had a lot of shoulder pain, she got her pain down from a 7 to a 5 to a 3, but we couldn't get it below a 3. Now, we did a little poking around and found out that she didn't want to get rid of all of her pain, because if she did, she might not get that shoulder rub from her husband when she came home from work, and she really enjoyed that. So we did a little negotiating with the husband. She could still get her shoulder rub even if she didn't have the pain. She still acknowledged how much he loved her to give her that shoulder rub. He was acknowledged for doing what he was doing. She was acknowledged, and she got rid of her shoulder pain, so now everybody's happier. Now, two things are crucial for this to work. You have to be honest, and you have to be specific. If you have your hand out, there's your two-part setup phrase. What's necessary? Being honest and being specific. So we're going to check in with your body. If you're having some pain, acknowledge where it is and give it a number on this 0 to 10 scale, and write it down if you want. If you are just have some stress in your life, maybe kids, parents, work, maybe the people you live with, maybe the people you work with, maybe money, technology, your car, whatever it is, bring up that bit of stress and acknowledge where it lands on this scale. And then we're going to go around the points with the first part of that statement. Ready? This problem. Still keeping your mind on what the problem is. This problem. This problem. This problem. This problem. On the collarbone, I hope you can see this. This problem. Patting under the arm. This problem. The thumb. This problem. Index finger. This problem. Middle finger. This problem. Ring finger. This problem. And little finger. This problem. Take a deep breath. Now, say the second part. I want to feel better. 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 That was under the arm, since you can't see it. Back on the hand. I want to feel better. 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 Take another deep breath. Let it out. Now, check in on that number scale again, that 0 to 10 scale. And has your number gone down? Has it gone up? Has it stayed the same? Well, let's just deal with the first part. Has it gone down? Yes. If it has, but you're still not at a 1, 2, or 0, the way you continue is to say, even though I do a whole nother round, even though I still have this problem, I want to feel better. And you would tap again at the karate chop 3 times, and then eyebrow, outer eye, under eye, nose, between the lip and chin, collarbone, under the arm, back to the thumb, index, middle, ring, and little finger. Again, I want to feel better, I want to feel better, I want to feel better, through all the points. Your brain is very, very literal. If you keep saying this problem, well, this problem was the original feeling. Still have this problem, changes it a little bit. If you need to do another round, change it to this remaining problem. Every time you do it, change the wording just a little bit if the number has shifted. Now, if the number has gone up, this is good news, because we've uncovered something that really wants attention. So pay attention. Don't stuff it down. Don't run away. Pay attention. Notice what it is. So for instance, if you had shoulder pain and then you had pain in your belly, the shoulder went down, but now you've got pain in the belly, you would speak to that, even though I have this pain in my belly. Notice again, before you do it, what the number is, and then notice if it goes down, stays the same, or goes up. Sometimes dealing with emotional stress, you're thinking about one thing and the distress goes up because it reminds you of something very similar. It's just like the time. Now, that gives you information, so that's another issue to tap on. Now, this sounds like it could go on and on forever, but I promise you it doesn't. What you're doing in your body is you're creating the neurochemical serotonin, which is a relaxation hormone. Now let's go to the third situation. If it just stays the same, if there's no shift in your number whatsoever, dig in a little bit deeper. Are you being specific? If you're talking about pain and you call it this pain, talk about what kind of pain it is. Is it sharp? Is it dull? Is it an ache? Is it a stab? Maybe it presents as a color. That's sometimes very useful too. And then use those specific words and do a few more rounds with that. There's more information about that in the guidebook that I mentioned, and that is my gift to you. I hope you'll access that and practice and learn to do this really, really well. Now on your handout, there's stealth tapping, because I really don't expect you to be walking around the hospital campus or wherever you are doing this. You're going to look a little odd. Now, I don't mind anymore because I just want to feel better. But if you're a little nervous or shy about doing that, let me show you how to do it stealth-wise. This is how. Take your index finger, wrap it around your thumb, and tap or touch. Same with the thumb to the index finger, thumb to the middle finger, to the ring finger, and to the little finger. You can do this in your lap, under your desk, down by your side while you're walking. If someone asks you, oh, what are you doing? You can just say, I'm making a list, making my grocery list, whatever. If they say, are you tapping? Be sure to tell them, yeah, because now you're in the club, you're doing it too, and you're both going to feel better. What some people will do, particularly nurses and people that are out in public a lot, teachers in front of people a lot, they may have to go to their private office to do some tapping. And you know what your private office is, don't you? It's the bathroom stall. When you're in there, and it's only going to take a minute, nobody's going to ask you what you're doing. So you can be in the middle of a stressful day and be in the bathroom stall going, even though I have all this stress, I want to feel better. Even though I've got too much to do, I want to feel better. And here's a variation. I like these words, choose and willing. So even though I'm having such a hard day, I'm choosing to feel better. That gives you your power back, doesn't it? Now you're making a decision to do something. Or even though I've got all this stress in my life, I'm willing to feel better. Will, as we know, free will is a very powerful thing. So you can be in a more powerful position when you use those words. Again, you're going to see some of this in the emails that I'll send you. So I hope you get really intrigued because it's really fun. And I'd love for you to teach your family, teach your children. Children do really well with this. They don't need all the science. They just tap, and that's really fun. On your handout, there is this section below. Bonus habit, lower your heart rate and think clearly in about 20 seconds. And that is true. What you're going to do is take 3 deep breaths in a particular way. Now, I begin most of my hypnosis recordings with this same instruction because I want my clients, and I tell them this, I want them to get practiced in using 3 deep breaths to calm themselves immediately, literally in about 20 seconds. So this is the way we're going to do it. It's going to be into your chest, into your belly, and into your back. So I want you to take 3 deep breaths in this particular way. With the first breath, breathe down into your chest, feel your chest expand, feel your ribs expand, even feel the space around your heart expand, and let it all the way out. Good. And with the second breath, breathe down into your belly, feel your belly rise, and feel it fall right back down into the middle. And with the third breath, breathe down all the way into the lowest lobes of your lungs. Feel your back expand and your back press against the cushion of the chair against which you're resting, and let it all the way out. Good. Now that's the same thing we used to hear a time ago about taking a moment and counting to 10 before saying something in anger. What this does for you with those 3 deep breaths is it signals your body that you are safe. A lot of times we walk around chest breathing, just breathing very shallowly, never really expanding our lungs fully. That is breathing of stress, of panic often. So when you take the time to slow down and bring yourself down back into your body, taking 3 deep breaths, not only mentally are you clearer, your body understands that it's safe and it can function, and now you've oxygenated your tissues also. So you're better off in 3 ways. I want you to note that I have a gift for you. I created this for the meeting last week and I passed them out, but I have this as a download that you can use, cut out, and put in your wallet. It's really, really tiny print, but I hope that it will serve to remind you to do some tapping when you're in the middle of stress so that you can take care of your body, take care of your loved ones, be present for your job, and still have plenty left over at the end of the day for you and your family. I'm Lili Hudson. I am also mounting a research project for a paper that I'm writing, and I'd like to show how much better people feel after 30 days of consistent tapping. Now, I've talked a long time, but tapping really doesn't need to take that long. I have a web-based program with a number of different scripts. To go through one takes about 5 minutes. There's all kinds of titles about insomnia, about pain, about feeling anxious, about overeating. There are some that have a number of different scripts with them. And when I say script, I mean what to say at each point and how to judge how you're doing. So if you'd like to be part of that research project, not only will you get the program for 30 days, but I'll make it available for an entire year just as a thank you. People who do tap on a consistent basis find some pretty interesting things. They may feel a rush of energy. They may feel energy draining from them and feel relaxed. They may, well, they do feel pain going away, but they also find that they sleep better, they smile more often. Things that used to upset them just don't upset them anymore. They put things into perspective. It is the best feeling, most healing habit you can ever have. That's not my quote, that's from one of my clients. So I hope you'll check it out. Be sure to look for the book from my website. It's free to you. You've got this as a download. There's an additional video on tapping. Email me or text me if you have any questions. And look for me again. My name is Lili Hudson, and my website is lilihudson.com. Oh, if you want to participate in that research project, just shoot me an email at lili@lilihudson.com. Thanks.